Buffett says it best. If your team was doing what you're doing, would you be successful? We lead from the front. We lead by example. We come in, we go get 24 customers. Like the team was doing what you're doing, would you have? What's going on there with the? Somebody had it on record, but yeah, that's where we're at. Back to you,
No,
Lynette.
you're live on YouTube, Big John. You live. That's all, brother.
So,
Big John, you hit on some great points. I mean, just thinking about the fact that we have and we're sitting on the cutting edge of something so wonderful, and we're first. Everybody on this call, we're first, and it's going to be thousands of people on a Mojo call one day. And you just believe that you just stick around and you take that plan, like you said, Big John, those 4 years, and you just know that we have one of the biggest, most enormous shifts of energy that's going to take place right before our eyes. And you're in the moment of making history, and you can write that in your book. So, if you actually think about it that way, there are a lot of places that people were and they didn't know that they were making history. And we're going to say right now today, even this call is making history because of where we're sitting. And it's so big, Mount Everest.
Lynette, you said it, because I think for the person that's new, I want to talk to the people that are new, right? So if you're new, if you just got into business in the last 30 days, I went in the chat, just put me, okay, in the chat, just put me, because I have a guy who's on the call. He was at his family's house for Thanksgiving, and he signed up as a new advisor. And when we got on, we trained, we certified all the same night, family there, having dinner, everything. But I want to talk to the people who are new, because I'm excited for you, because you today are in a better position than anybody in the company. Because somebody who joined today is coming into a business that is set up to run. Now, I always say, me and Kirk talked about it. I think, where were we at, Kirk? In New Jersey. And I did the presentation and I said, guys, this is your Amazon moment. And I don't think people truly understand what I was saying. Because I want you to understand this, is that when I was in Washington, D.C., I worked with a lawyer that was a part of Jeff Bezos's first group that he said, hey, I want to go and sell books online. And the lawyer was like, you're crazy. People go to the library to buy books. This makes no sense. He was leaving a venture capital company as an advisor to go do this thing. And he literally had the opportunity to join him. About 6 guys out of the 25 went with him to sell books online. That made no sense to go do that, because you go to the library, you go to Barnes and Nobles. Well, now I'm telling you, now when I say it's your Amazon moment, guys, I say it from the standpoint of, hey, Lynette, we're going to put free batteries on homes. Hey, John, we're going to go put free batteries on homes. Hey, Kirk, we're going to put a free battery on a home. And then we're going to link the homes together, and we're going to lower the cost, and we'll be able to dictate how much people pay for energy. See, some people won't get that right now. Hey, John, we got community solar. We can have a 20-year savings on energy. I got Think Smart. I can connect a smart thermostat and use all that data and now lower cost and be predictable and lower cost like we've never seen before. It just won't make sense for everybody. But for the new person, welcome to your Amazon moment.
Right.
Welcome to the moment where 90% of people won't get it. In Texas, we're going to put a battery on someone's home, give them a backup battery supply, where it typically takes $20,000 to $30,000 to put a battery on a home. So when I tell you this is a moment in time, it is truly an Amazon moment. It is the moment where people say that doesn't make sense. Hey, we're going to go sell books online. What? No, I'm going to put a free battery on a home. And then I'm going to put it on 10,000 homes. And then I'm going to make those homes a virtual power plant where we can now dictate between the homes how we manage that energy. So that when everybody's energy in Houston and Dallas goes out, you guys know what's going on. All of the homes that are Think homes, I want to put a big stamp on the top of every house that has a battery from Think Energy and EcoFlow, because now those
Yes.
homes will have lights. I'm going to do where's David Flores? Do me a video with logos of Think on homes, David, and all the lights go out and you see all the Think homes on, because
No, no,
that's
no, no,
how
no, the
powerful.
sign, the plus sign for
The
think,
plus
the plus
side.
sign, highlighted in neon green or neon blue, right? And it goes up
They
in the
Yes.
call him
sky because
Batman.
the house is lit up.
Listen,
Like
it
the
is
Superman
powerful.
sign. What's this?
Yes.
Batman, the Batman sign. It
Hey,
goes up like the Batman sign.
Hey, listen.
Jewel. Yeah,
Go
Kirk.
ahead. Well,
No, go
listen,
ahead.
John. Spending time with John, and to be honest with you, he jokingly said, "What are you over there playing games on my phone?" And I'm actually connecting with people on social media while I'm visiting with John. And I've been on a recruiting spree. I believe in what we have our hands on so strongly. I can't contain myself. It's almost like it's so inside me right now. I want to scream it from the mountaintops. And when you believe in what you have your hands on, like I do, and I challenge all of you to borrow my belief if you're not there, because this thing is just a monster. This is 10 times bigger than anything we've ever seen out there. And it's hard to believe when you hear those words, but when you see what's coming and what's going to happen in people's lives, there's no guarantee of income here. You have to put your head down and go to work, and it's a journey. And it's a process. What they did at the convention I loved was they talked about the process. Like your first year, you're working, you're putting in more work than you're getting paid. Then your second equals out. And then by your third year, you're like, I feel guilty about the money they're sending me. And that's the process. It doesn't go the same for everybody, but that's the process. As long as you're putting in consistent effort, you cannot lose. You're one conversation away from that person that's going to pay your mortgage, put your kids through college, whatever you want it to do. And knowing that, it's a simple thing. Hey, Lynette, where are you from? Chicago. Oh, we should talk. Just having that confidence and that posture and that belief in what you're doing. When your belief is so strong, I'm talking to some of the biggest leaders in our industry, people that have made 10 times more money than I have in this industry. But I don't care. I know what I have my hands on, and I just want to be the first person to get it in front of them. And that's the mindset people need to have right now. There's a level of urgency that, if you want to get where you want to go, you have to have that urgency to get this in front of as many. Sorry about the birds if you can hear them. You have to get this in front of as many people as you can, as fast as you can. And that's my plea to everyone on this call this morning.
Kirk, question for you, brother. Why are you recruiting? You don't need to recruit. You got a balanced business. You got a business that's set up right now to take you to senior partner in the next 2 to 3 months. Why is a guy like you constantly searching and exposing new people to the business? Why are you doing that?
Well, John, it's a great question. People might get sick of hearing it, but we've talked about it in the past, and it is getting old, but it's the truth. Michael launched his company in 23 because there was a window to launch, and God bless our founders. They recognize that we want to have boots on the ground when the technology's ready. And here we are. I mean, every single person in this company right now should understand you are truly in at the beginning. And I said it last night on the call. Many of us were in the energy space previously, and you look at the top leaders who made like crazy life-changing money and understand that they were all mid-level people in a telecom company back in the 80s and 90s, and they recognized the energy space was going to be the new window. And they jumped in, and they didn't just say I'm in at the beginning. They jumped in and took massive action. So why am I working so hard? Because this is the beginning. We have something that nobody knows about. We have something that nobody else can do. And I want to get this in front of as many people as I can before somebody else does. That's what we do. Massive immediate action. We're building a legacy for our families, and I'm helping as many people as I can go along for the ride. That's why, John.
Well, I appreciate that, Kirk. And
Kurt, you better watch your back. Them birds over there cutting up.
They're
yeah,
crazy, aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah. So, you know, Milton, you've been hitting this real hard, and we're thankful for the leadership. I'm talking about from corporate on down to the Kenny brothers, the founders, Tony Procopio doing his Saturday trainings. All we got to do is put people in the funnel. You don't need to personally train everybody. You just put people in a funnel when you're growing a big team. If you don't keep it simple and duplicatable, your business is going to die on the vine, right? This is about the McDonald's, right? Pressing a button. Oh, Happy Meal, Happy Meal. We got a lot of Happy Meals in this company. So, Milton, what do you know about the Happy Meal here at Think Energy?
No, I love everything you're saying. It's all about systems, and I'm a systems guy, and I understand that systems save you time and energy. And I was just actually talking to my team about that yesterday, as far as making sure you're following the system so that you don't get drained out. But that's the only way I build my business, because that's the only way you can build a massive organization all over the world, is if there are systems in place. So I love the system here. I love the systems I've created, and it definitely works for me. It definitely works, and it definitely takes a lot of stress off of my hands, making sure that I not only teach the system, but I follow the system myself.
Hey, Milton, I got a question for you. How good does it feel when you're growing an organization? Now, you got some key leaders in your business, right? See, my ultimate vision of being as close to perfect as you can is by developing other people. People said to me, John, you got the largest business in the company. How you growing such a big business? How you building such a big business? And I said, I'm not. And they said, what do you mean you're not? I said, I'm building leaders. When you have somebody like Lynette Roberts, Sandy and Onofre, Kimbrough, Linda, there's so many, Phyllis, there's so many people. I shouldn't even have went down that road. But how is the feeling to you, Milton, when you see people doing their own trainings, doing their own Zooms, and that they don't need you right away all the time? How does that make you feel?
Oh, it feels great, and I'm just so proud of all those leaders, and so glad that that they're having success. So it makes me feel really, really good to just see other people flourish. Like I always let people know, you help enough people get what they want. You never have to worry about anything. You'll never go without. But it just definitely shows that, as we shared yesterday on our Zoom, you don't have to have everybody in your organization you know, getting it. Like, you want everyone to get it, but the truth of the matter is everyone won't get it. But if you got a handful of, like the people you mentioned, 10, 20 people, even out of 10, 20,000, right? You can still go out and build something legendary and massive. But it's all about, again, giving your time to the people that deserve your time and have earned your time, versus the people that you may feel need this more than anyone. But you have to get to that point where you are giving the leaders and the people that's really putting in the work your time. And if you give those 10, those 20 all your time, you'll go out and build a multi-million-dollar business.
Milton,
Yeah, I
thank you
love
for
that,
that.
Milton. The goal is to make yourself obsolete as a leader. And what I mean by that is, John talks about the funnel. We're plugging people into a funnel. That funnel is somewhat of a sorting tool. Everything is right there for anyone to come in, plug in, and be successful. And we're trying to build independent energy advisors, not dependent energy advisor. So when somebody's messaging you constantly for links and videos and everything is there, we all have to do the same thing. Run our business like a real business. If you're running it the way I'm running my business, I know where to find almost everything. And if I don't know where to find it, I know who to call. So you have to be able to run your business in a way that you're not dependent on other people. Learn the presentation, learn where all the information you need is. Most everything we need is in Think Success, and people should be looking at that link within your back office every single day. You should know where everything is. You should understand the reports. You know, you can go into the reports and see the coding, and you can see the levels, and you can see the who's got who's customers. Everything is there, but you have to be willing to go in and work and run your business and know where everything is. It's very important. So to what you're saying, Milton, and what John talked about, our funnel, our system is somewhat of a sorting tool where you need to focus on the people who are doing the money making activities, the things that are going to get them where they want to go, and they just need support. And I say this all the time. When I show the business, I always get somebody else on the phone, and I'm doing three-way calls all day, every day. But when I'm showing the business, I get somebody else on the phone, one of the Kenny brothers, Big John, any other leader, Julius, whoever it is. I get them on the phone and let them do the talking, because it's not about me. It's about that person. I'm showing them we have a system with a lot of support. All you have to do is plug in and follow the leader. That's what we do.
Kirk, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Why do you think people are so uncomfortable following that process?
Well, I just think, and this is my opinion, I think, unfortunately or fortunately, the entry cost is so minimal. It's $59, and some people throw that at the wall to see what will stick, and they don't ever get committed to what we have our hands on. And it's the hardest thing that we deal with, when you want it more for somebody than they want it for themselves. But I just think many people don't treat this as it really is. It's so big, and it's hard to fathom the idea of sharing this information with enough people that you become financially free and potentially generate life-changing income. Again,
That three-way call process. You just said, I do not close my own people.
yeah,
You actually call a third party, and you're Kirk Horan, right?
yeah,
Poster child for another energy company. Know
yeah.
all about the energy. If I ask you a question, it's answered. Because I'm like, wait a minute, this is new to me. But you still follow the process of the three-way call. Sorry about that. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are very uncomfortable following that simple process that you just stated,
Yeah.
which works. And I was wondering, why do you think they're so uncomfortable with that? It's so strange to me.
I think people have it in their head that they're like cornering somebody into something, when really you're just getting the information, and you're showing them something, right? I'm showing you, Lynette, the business, and you have questions. That's what I want. I want you to have questions, because I'm going to put you on with somebody else. And when we hang up, I say, Lynette, think about what we just did. I showed you a video. You had questions. I put you on the phone with somebody else. They told you they would do the same thing for you as they're doing for me. Let's go. It's a simple process, but I can't put my finger on it completely. I don't know if we'll ever understand it. I think people think we're too busy, and I tell people all the time, we're too busy with the people who are doing what you should be doing. So if you're doing what you need to do, we're going to be busy helping you, just like we're helping the other people.
Got it.
It's something. It's always going to be the mystery of our business, I think.
Yeah. We should be busy. We should be. It should be a situation where you can barely breathe. Like, okay, I didn't talk to 200 people today.
Well,
you
it's
know
funny
what?
you say that. Real quick, John. I said this to John, and I said it to my wife. I said, literally, the past since we've gotten back from the convention, I feel useless for anything other than this business. I mean, it's 24/7 and I love it. I'm not complaining. I said, but literally there's nothing getting done outside of build and think energy. And it's a great feeling. Don't get me wrong. But if things are hitting on all cylinders the way you want them to, you're going to be at some level of busy. And if you have a job, let me say this, if somebody has a job, the importance of when you bring new people in to introduce them to the upline, like the people who are doing this full time, so that they know that they always have support. If they need you and you're working and they have nobody to call, that's on the person who brought them in. The shame on you for not introducing them to the rest of their business partners. It's really important.
Absolutely.
Julius Weems, what do we have coming up tonight? Plugging into the system, plugging in to the Think calendar, treating this business like a real business, right? I mean, talk about like the $59. It's, oh man, I just signed up for something. It's only 59 bucks. But let's talk about the mindset for a minute, Julius, and about plugging in.
And I love what Kirk said because Lynette asked about, why are people not comfortable? But if they went to work and they worked at a company, let's just say the company is an accounting company, okay? And their job at the accounting company is to create spreadsheets, okay? But they didn't know anything about the numbers in the spreadsheet. Their job was just to create the spreadsheet. If somebody called to ask about the numbers, they would say, hey, let me get my business partner Lynette on because she's the one responsible for the numbers in the spreadsheet. That'd be very normal at work because somebody's giving you a check and say, hey, your job is to create the spreadsheet. But if somebody got questions, you got to refer them to Lynette or Kirk because they have to answer the questions. I think the key is that the behavior is 99% of people are so used to being told what to do. And the system is the success. With all due respect, guys, you guys are not in the energy business. Michael Falquest is in the energy business. Energy Well is in the energy business. Our business is to show people an overview of what I'm doing and then get an expert on to answer their questions. That simple piece is the success. And I go back to what Milton said is that, I tell people all along, I will support you in this business, but sometimes you got to love people alone. You got to love them alone for a little bit. It doesn't mean that the system's not still there. It doesn't mean that you're not still there, but you have to work with people that want to succeed for themselves. If you don't have a why, you don't get a Weems. I tell them, I say, if you don't have a why, you don't get a Weems. You don't, because I'll give you 90% of me if I know why you're doing it. But if you're not sure why you're doing it, I'll tell you. I signed up Jerome on Thanksgiving. He's out of town, 3 hours away. He says, Julius, what are we waiting for? He's like, what are we waiting for? I'm like, you're with your family. He's like, oh no. I sent him the video. He signed up 1 hour. The next hour, his certification, everything was done. The next hour we trained. I got him on the phone with I think it was it Kirk or John. One of you guys joined.
Yeah, it was me. Yep, it
was
me.
And so you got a guy who's only been in the business for 1 hour. But his why for wanting it is just big enough. So yeah, it's easy to spend time with people that have a big enough why. He's like, all right, well, what I got to do? He says, oh, that 535. Okay, let me get that done the next couple days. Before he got back home, I don't even know if Jerome's back home yet, but that is what you want. That is where you spend your energy because the system is a success. You build leaders because leaders will show themselves available to the system. It's really that simple. And that is what our business is about. But we're going into December and everybody's going to be looking for, how do I change my life in January? That's just a fact. Everybody's going to be looking for, what do I do different? How do I do it different? Here's the thing, is that the only thing that matters in our business, and I think Kirk is an example of it, John is, Milton, the only thing that matters, as cool as all the other stuff is, the only thing that matters is who can duplicate the fastest.
Mm. Yeah.
All guys, I love innovation. I love technology, but if it don't duplicate, it don't matter.
There's
If you
no
don't take any,
shortcuts.
no short. If it does not duplicate, it does not matter. It does not matter because you cannot build an army that's independent unless it duplicates, or you're just building a really
Julius,
big
let me
job.
say this.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, if any one of us had a shortcut or a quicker way for people to get to the top, we would be sharing it with you because, you know, if you're getting to the top, you're never going anywhere, number one. And if you're at the top, as Milton said earlier, help enough people get where they want and you'll get where you want. So if we had a shortcut, I promise you, we'd be sharing it with you. We're sharing
Right.
the methodology of how you get where you want to go. And trust me, we've all been through the trenches. We've all questioned, doubted the process. And remember, doubt will take you out of action. Action will always take you out of doubt. So, don't doubt the process. Just know that you're on the right trail, on the right tracks. When you start questioning, is this going the way I want it to? Probably not in the beginning, right? You're putting in a lot of work for minimal pay, but when it flips, you pinch yourself and you say, "I can't believe this is real." So, I love what you said there, Jules.
No, that and I'll close out with this because this is really something that is people always ask me, Julius, how do you do the little deal, the residential one-on-one, or the big deal? I said it's a three-way calls because the little deal is a three-way call and the big deal is a three-way call. It's just that if Kirk don't have an answer, Kirk will say, well, hey, let's get Ed on. If Ed don't have an answer, like, oh, let's get it, because the system is the system is the system. And as simple as it is, even Kirk will tell you in a minute, he's not a technical genius, right? But building your list, people say, well, how do you use social media? You get on and you say hi to people and you compliment them and you build your list. It's not rocket science. And I think people are looking, Kirk, for this rocket science approach. But if they had to go out to work every day and we gave, it'd be great to give everybody a check every day, right? To go out and build a list, right? And most people don't want to wait till it flips, till it changes their life. They'll go work for somebody else and it flips for somebody else's company and they'll do it for somebody else's company for 40 years and never get the flip where they're financially independent. And then they're afraid to build their own dream. And it's the saddest thing. It's the saddest thing mentally I've ever seen, but it's all about what duplicates. If you don't write anything else down from this call, for all of our new people, for all our people, if it does not duplicate, it will not build this business so you're free. Kirk has a bunch of leaders that don't need him. That we love you, Kirk, but you got a whole bunch of leaders that we're doing three-way calls for our teams. John's got a whole bunch of leaders that don't need him. We love them and we call them, but we don't need them because we have leaders, right? They've built a business that will duplicate without them. That is the business. Have you built enough leaders that can do that? So guys, just want to share that.
Julius, what do we have tonight for what do we have tonight for everybody? Lisa, Kenny,
we got the women of Think. So all the women.
We got the company call, the Empower call.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got my list right here. I'm looking right at my list. So
Empower call.
Empower Hour is tonight. Now, why is it so important for you to be on Empower Hour, right? If you want to look into what's happening in the company, especially with us coming into a new month, especially with all the announcements going on, because you guys mentioned the $5,000, but we got to talk about the $5,000, okay? Everybody in a company has an opportunity to get $5,000, okay? Not just in Texas, but that's a huge announcement that I don't think we're talking about enough. But tonight, you're going to get a recap of things that are happening, promotions. And let me say it this way. If John, Kirk, Milton, Julius, and Lynette, Mike, or Andy are on a call, you should be on a call. Because I think that, guys, we are giving people space to not be accountable to the things they need for their future. And I'm sorry, yes, I know life is happening, but if your leader shows up, you should show up. I'm just going to keep it that simple, because at some point, if nobody presses you to be uncomfortable, they don't care enough about your success. So I'm saying if your leader is on a call, follow the leader. Let's play follow the leader for the next 30 days. And Empower Hour tonight is one of those moments, and I'll see you all tonight. Go ahead,
So
Kurt.
Julius,
Empower
you're
Hour
also
tonight. Hang on, John. Empower Hour tonight is going to be a lot about the smart thermostat program. Remember, this is the month. So if ever anybody who's been wondering in these autosave markets about the smart thermostat program, that is tonight. If you want to know, be there. Don't not show up and then ask hundreds of questions later. Be in the room. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
yeah, Julius, what you said in so many words is nobody's going to follow a parked car, right? If you
Yeah.
if you're not that person that's lifting people up, that's getting people excited, that's giving people your knowledge, you're not leading, right? It's real simple business. Come in, go get 20 customers. I don't say go get 5, go get 20, right? Why stop at 5? Go get 20, master the art, teach others how to do the same. So let's go. We appreciate everybody's time. We value everybody's time. How about a nugget? Let's start off with Kirk Coran for his nugget.
All right. Well, like I said before, you have to go forward with urgency. Um, if we put a monetary value on how many times you show the video, what would that look like for you? If you're currently trading your time for money, whether you're making $20 an hour or $300 an hour, if you knew that every time you showed that video and got somebody on a three-way call, that was doubling your hourly income, how many people would you be getting this in front of? That's what I want you to think about as you go through the week. Put a monetary value on it for yourself, because the truth is it's 10 times greater than any hourly pay that you can imagine. So take massive, immediate action.
Thank you, Kirk. Let's kick it over to Lynette. How about a nugget, Lynette Roberts?
I am going to say leverage. That is my diamond drop today. We need to leverage. Use that three-way call like you have never used it before over the next 30 days. Take you a leader or 2 leaders, maybe 3, and just use that three-way call. It works. Stop closing your own people. Stop being the whole process. So leverage yourself and get your leaders involved. And I must tell you, the credibility and the edification is going to win for you. That is going to be a W.
Thank you, Lynette. We're gonna kick it over to Milton Burt. Milton, you got a nugget for everybody, brother?
Hey, brother, and I love the nuggets that I've heard so far. My nugget would be to make adjustments and make adjustments fast, especially if you're not getting the results that you want to get. Don't go into 2026, don't go into even today, December 1st, doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. You have to be quick at making adjustments so that you can get the desired results. And that's something that I've learned, I've learned over the years, as far as if one thing is not working for whatever reason, make adjustments and make adjustments fast. And also, whatever you want your team to do, you must do it first. You must hold yourself to the highest standard, and then you can therefore hold your team to, certain standards. But it all starts with you. So those are my nuggets. Thank you.
Thank you, Milton. Appreciate your brother. Julius Weems, how about a nugget for everybody before I close this thing out, brother?
I have a nugget and a quick announcement. The nugget is called Kaizen. Kaizen, Kizen. Kaizen is a Chinese philosophy that I've taught for 30 years in large companies. And the idea of Kaizen is that every day you are working to build a 1%.
Wait, can we mute everybody, please? I want to hear this. Can we mute everybody?
Alice was so Kaizen is a Chinese philosophy that all of the large billion-dollar companies in China use, because Kaizen is the philosophy of every day I am going to make a 1% improvement. It is a philosophy that is ingrained in culture. It is every day I will get better. And I've taught it here in the US using a process called Agile Software Development, Enterprise Agile. But I've taught it for 20 years, and it's been incredible because when people understand that it is never about perfection, it is about understanding where I need to make that 1% shift. And I want to challenge you all to understand that it's 1% shift of doing something better, one more call, one more follow up, one more customer. Kaizen is a philosophy that I am here to get better every day and learn from my mistakes. But I will get better because if I do that every day, where do I end up in a year? Where does my business end up? Where does my family end up? Where does my relationships end up? Because if I believe in Kaizen, if I believe that it's about the 1% improvement every day, I can change my life. And I want to leave that with all of you. And one of the I put in a chat, guys, I am tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and I have a Think Local campaign for single moms out of Baltimore called Essie's House of Hope. I'm asking you guys to help me finish it up at about 65%. But I want to finish it today. We got 178 people on here. If everybody gave $10, we'd be done. So I want to be done. I want to give because I believe giving is how we grow. And so, Big John, I'm turning back over to you, brother. Big John, you're muted. I can't hear you, brother.
You're muted, Big John.
Yeah, Julius, can you tell everybody how they can go and find their Think Local cash in their back office, how they can donate? Can you give a quick overview on that?
Yeah, so all of you log in, you can log into your back office, or you can click the link I put in the chat. And when you go to the link, there's going to be a login in the top left. You'll see the campaign. You log into your back office with your back office credentials, and you'll be able to see how much Think Local cash you have to donate. And you can then donate to the campaign. So just go to that link, go to login. It'll log you into your back office, and then you'll be able to see how much cash you have available, which is, those of you who don't know, Think Local cash is only used to support campaigns for nonprofits and for us to give the money to others, which I think is incredible that we are able to give, and it's not coming out of out of your pocket. It's not coming out of it's coming out of the work you do for this company, and so I'm super excited about it. I know we can finish this up to this morning, so I want to challenge us to finish it up so we can move on to the next one because I know we have other campaigns here, but I want us to know that Think Local is something we should focus on and make sure that we're giving to these campaigns to fill them up. We've been filling them up like crazy. I think we got about $100,000 sitting out there in your account. So in your account, there's over $100,000 sitting out there that we can give. So I'm asking everybody to do that. And so thanks, Big John. I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you, Julius. Early on, folks, I appreciate everybody hanging on. I look forward to seeing everybody tonight on the company and power call. Right, it starts with us as individuals. And you heard me speak earlier about there's only one person we're in competition here, and I'm in competition with myself. Lynette is in competition with herself. Milton is in competition with himself. So I took notes many, many years ago. I was at a place in my life where I needed something else to protect my family. And I didn't know where to turn. And I wrote something down I want to read to you. And I wrote down and I started saying, John, it's you against you, right? You're by yourself. It's you against you. Nobody's going to come to your rescue but you. Don't be silent to yourself, John. John, don't be silent. You have something that you want. You need something for your family. Don't be silent. Face yourself head on, John. Face yourself. Let me tell you what I mean. Years ago, I looked and didn't like what I saw. I didn't like my future. I didn't like the pension plan that somebody else prescribed for me. Go to work, John. Go work 40 years, and here's the peanuts I'm going to give you when you can hardly walk because of your knees and your back and your arms and your shoulders. And I didn't like what I saw. And I assure you, if you stay silent, if you don't confront your fear, if you don't get uncomfortable, you will surrender to life's path of mediocrity. You will keep following the flow of traffic, and you'll never get what you rightly deserve. See, we have a vehicle here that can separate you from being mediocre. But you got to get uncomfortable. You got to face your fear. And this thing will deliver for you like it's delivering to many others that got away from the worries of what other people think about them. So when you get off the Zoom, start this Monday by saying it's a new day. Set your course in a different way. Be deliberate. Be intentional. And never stop flipping the cards. Music, Julius. Love you guys. Thank you. See you all.
You against you, John. I love it. You against
Awesome
you. I
nugget,
love it.
John.
I love it.
Great call. Great call, guys.
What about music, G?
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Still have found a DJ.
Y'all hear it? You got me?
Let's go. Let's go.
Thank you for
You hear my audio? There we go.
Get it, Big John.
Thank you, everyone.
Have
Thank
a
you
great,
for
great
this
day,
help.
everybody.
Have an awesome week.
Thank you, everybody.
See you tonight. Let's promote the Zoom tonight, guys. Let's go get it.
Should have
Good
dropped
call,
that in
guys.
the chat.
Keep up the good work.
So grateful for the Mojo team.
Oh, Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Lynette. I'm here in my bathrobe.
That's right. Yeah.